magnifying glass on state governments. I want to take you on that. I want to take you on that.
The scans and inflation, which is caused by the central government policies, first correct that, first correct the expenses which are not being met.
I asked you a simple question. You gave a complicated reply, which has been factually questioned by two of our panelists.
No, I'm not giving a complicated. I'm giving you a very simple answer. The simple answer is, if you take money from people, give it back to people.
Sure.
And you're not giving it back to people.
I want to know what Mr. Badal is doing in Punjab. 1 minute. One minute. People in Punjab who are watching tonight can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Don't shake your head. I'll tell you why you are factually wrong. I want to take you on. Because my information is that on the 29th of August, how many days back is that, Meenakshi Lekhi? 2 weeks back. The retail price of petrol and diesel went up in Punjab with a hike in VAT prices, with a hike in the VAT rates. In Punjab today, VAT on petrol and diesel is 28% and 9.3%, right or wrong? Are you going to give that money back? Every time somebody pays that money at the petrol pump, are you going to give that money back to the consumer?
Every time there is an expense, I think money back does not mean money back in cash. But money back to the people means money back in kind. And the kind is the kind of welfare measure which the government is entering into. What government is doing for the people of Punjab.
That is very subjective.
What people of government of India is doing.
That is very subjective.
That is what government of India is doing. It is not subjective. It is what is happening with the money. It is
subjective.
It is this which is happening with the money.
It is 1000% subjective.
No, it is not subjective. This is factual. Thousands of crores. CAG report is not subjective. It is very objective.
Absolutely.
We are paying for the bad policies of the central government. If the money was being refurbished back to people, we will not have any problem. We have a problem that money is taken out of our pocket and is going into the private coffers of
Newshour tonight. 3 phone calls. I'm going to take 3 phone calls.
I agree.
3 phone calls, and I'm putting up the number right now. 1 second, gentlemen. I want to read out the number. The number you can call on, because I promised the viewer I'll take 3 phone calls at the end of this 5 minutes on the Newshour tonight. What I want our viewers who are calling, please listen to me clearly. Whoever gets through on the phone number I will now read out should tell me who they want on the panel to answer this question. The phone number is a Mumbai number, 0222499 0596. Mumbai number 02224990596, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I hear the phone calls behind me and they are buzzing. They are calling. Every person is calling. I'll take 3 phone calls tonight. Okay. We have people are upset, and people will ask you questions about your prudent 1 cylinder per 2 months theory. You be careful, Mohandas Pai. 1 second. First, Dr. Sandeep Shastri wants to come back. Dr. Shastri.
Yes. I'm saying the people are visibly and rightfully upset today because of the context in which this decision is taken. If you had a context where, be it the state government, be it the central government, had actually shown visible governance on the ground, I'm not, I'm sure that there would have been a less acerbic reaction to this hike that has happened today.
Okay.
It's always, I think we must understand the context in which the common citizen is reacting and responding.
Okay.
And Arnab, there are studies which have shown this. Arnab, there are studies which have revealed that the consumers are prepared to pay a higher price if they get good quality service. So people don't mind paying taxes, but the taxes have to be used efficiently in the favor of the citizens. It cannot be used for enriching the few people who have the power. So you have to understand that the consumers are prepared to pay a higher price, but not the way the governance is going. It has to be accountable, it has to be transparent, it has to be made efficient. So all
caller number 1
that more than 70% of the consumers are prepared to pay a higher price, provided you guarantee them quality service, which the government is not doing. And that is what the question is, and that is what we have to address. And I'm sure there are number of wisdom and number of wise people sitting in the
gentlemen, a Major General first.
It is not a rocket science.
1 minute. I have to take the callers. There are lots of callers, and because I promised only 3 for limitations of time, please forgive me. Our first caller, just being lined up, Major General Satbir Singh. Major General Satbir Singh is calling from Gurgaon. General Satbir Singh was on the line, lost the line with him. Keep the debate going. Will I connect the general back on that chat? Now, the context issue. Mohandas Bhai, why are you silent on the context? If the context has been different...
No, Arnab, the context is very clear. Arnab, let me say this. We have a Colgate, we have corruption scandals. The government has delayed raising the price of diesel. They cannot delay it anymore because the oil companies have borrowed up to 90,000 crores and cannot borrow anymore. If you don't raise the diesel prices, everything will come to a standstill. Where is the money to meet the subsidy? There's no more money left. So this is it.
Where is the money?
This is the end of the line. So what else can you do?
Where is the money gone? Where has all the money gone?
Well. Ask the parliamentarians, they approved the budget, ask the parliamentarians.
Okay, caller one.
Yeah. Why don't they cut their salary? Why don't they cut their salary and amenities by 50%?
And forgo their business class tickets, their junkets. And I must say here, I am so upset.
Absolutely.
Let me say this today.
Yes.
Let me say this
Thank
today.
you very much.
Let me say this today. In Bangalore, we exposed the politicians who lied to the people of their own state, saying we are going on a study tour. 5 stories were done. They refused to come back. I can assure you, we'll have cameras waiting for them when they come back.
Why were they not imprisoned?
Pradeep is calling from Bangalore.
Why was money not recovered from them?
Pradeep is our first caller from Bangalore. Pradeep, what's your question and to whom? Or what do you want to say?
Yeah. Good evening, Arnab. Good evening, Arnab. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to put my question on News Hour.
How much money spent on her trips?
Pradeep.
But before I... Hello?
Yes, Pradeep, go on.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to put my question on News Hour. But before I ask my question, I want to caution you that you should increase your personal security because you are asking so much direct and difficult questions to Minister and MPs. So be careful. Okay. We are worried about your safety and security.
Thank you.
Well, now my question is, we should welcome the government's decision because their hunger is not yet full in spite of having Colgate, 2G, and CWG, etc., etc., etc. So please, for their hunger, we should take that burden and let our MPs and ministers increase their tummies. Okay, I'm sorry for being cynical about it, but that's what it is. And all political parties should be dumped into the Arabian Sea.
Well, a lot of anger against political parties coming out tonight. Pradeep, thank you very much for your phone call and for your advice. Going to take 2 quick calls tonight. Let me see if a second caller is... Okay, that's Colonel Satbir. 1 second. There's some confusion. While I wait for the second caller tonight. You see, that's the context, that's the anger. Isn't that evident, Prasenjit Bose? That tells you something, right? Now, political parties have to tap into this anger and do something constructive. They have to tap into this and do something constructive with it.
So those who are doing cannot be clubbed with the others.
Yet one more wake-up call for political parties.
And the economic context which actually explains the anger that you're talking about. I think the political context, obviously, with all the corruption scandals and the gradual erosion of credibility of this government, and also many of the opposition parties, most of the opposition parties, I should say, I think that there is a justifiable anger among the people that this anti-people government is heaping further burdens on the people. But it is not only the political context. I think the economic situation in our country is deteriorating very fast. The GDP growth is coming down. Inflation is not coming down. Inflation is on the rise. Food inflation is on the rise. On the top of it,
it is not only the government.
So the whole
people. I think it is
not only the government. All
justifiable.
That is the story. Everyone is saying that tonight.
All political parties have to be made.
No. Everyone is saying that tonight. That
you have to make investments.
No, see, Mr. Guruswamy, everyone is saying tonight we'll take rational decisions, we'll support rational decisions, but somewhere the same middle class who you are saying, is not relevant for subsidies anymore, is asking questions as to, okay, we will pay, but what is the context in which more money is being squeezed out of us? One second, Rajesh is calling in from Assam. Rajesh is our next caller from Assam. Here, Rajesh, please. Go ahead, Rajesh.
Yeah, now I would like to ask the panelists that there is lots of talking about the economy is deteriorating, but now the figures are coming for companies. They are earning more and more. Their profits are getting bigger and bigger, and only it's common public and middle class which have to pay for all this.
Okay, Meenakshi Lekhi, you want to take that? Meenakshi Lekhi, you want to answer that?
Valid point.
This is precisely the point. You see, things like electricity, things like health, things like education is the responsibility of the government, and government has privatized these things. I'm not against privatization, but privatization to what extent that these companies go on making money, keep getting subsidies, keep getting benefits, and there is no accountability. There is no accountability. These are the things which Government of India needs to provide to people. What are we paying for? What are we paying for? Security is not in order. There's nothing.
One caller, one more caller.
Competition does not mean that even in a state like US, the government of USA is responsible, and that's a capitalist economy. We call ourselves mixed economy, and government is not willing to take any responsibility. Yes, absolutely. And not definitely. So regulator does not mean. So it's not just political parties. Money is earned by these companies going back as a kickback.
One more caller, please, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming in 1 minute. Our last caller is Colonel Sukhbir Singh. Colonel Sukhbir Singh is calling from Delhi, and I want to say this today that we are overwhelmed with the phone calls coming in. I'm sorry I can't take more than a third phone call, but I hope that in the voice of the callers who are calling in today, somewhere you feel your own voice heard. Colonel Sukhbir Singh from Delhi, go ahead, Colonel.
Mr. Goswami and ladies and gentlemen, I just read that we are privatizing the profits and nationalizing the losses. That's what our government is doing right now. Isn't it shameful? Our common man is suffering. This thing of 6 cylinders or 7 cylinders, please get down to ground level. It's disgusting. You people don't know what ground reality marketing. Thank God the army is sustaining this
completely agree with
country.
Colonel Sukhbir Singh, thank you very much. You see that that's the point to write. You see this, I have a feeling that
the government wants
we are privatizing the national resources.
Well, I'd like to say tonight, I thank you for your call. Mohandas Pai, that calculation of 1 cylinder every 2 months is a figure which will be questioned by many.
70% of India consumes 1 cylinder for 2 months.
Well, it's you know, it's
data. Look at Anna data. Yes.
Now the fact is, gentlemen,
Petroleum has made a survey. Ministry of Petroleum has got a survey.
Mohandas Pai, not 70% of India, but 70% of LPG consumers.
Okay, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for joining me on the Newshour Debate tonight.